What is up, Division 2 agents? This is Gamer for Life back with another Division 2 build video. In this video, I wanted to showcase another one of my builds that I specifically made for Countdown. As you know, I do have specific builds for Countdown, and they are all completely immune from being disrupted so that we are unaffected by the hunters, because as we know, that is one thing they are known for, is disrupting their enemy. I've done videos on my Countdown healer build, status effect build, and since then some newer gear has come out and I've kind of tweaked them a little bit, so I may go over those again sometime in the future. But in this video, I have another build that will not only help keep your team alive, but also help in giving them more damage against the enemies as well, which really helps when going against the hunters. And if you happen to play on heroic Countdown, this can absolutely be a huge benefit to your team. This is what I like to call the super tank. 2.4 million armor with perfect vanguard and perfectly opportunistic. Two great talents that helps your team out. And again, as you can see, I wanted to make sure and get as much armor as absolutely possible with this build. So we have two pieces of foundry, which gives us plus 10% total armor. And we have armor and hazard protection rolled on both of these pieces. And of course the mask has a disrupt resistance mod. We also have the two pieces of Badger Tough, 10% shotgun damage and plus 5% total armor for the brand set bonuses. Both pieces again rolled with armor, armor regen, and hazard protection. Now on my holster, I did go ahead with the ammo dump because it does give us a free attribute, which is plus 10% ammo capacity. You don't have to use the ammo dump if you don't want to or if you don't have it. This is a holster that can only be crafted. And the way you get this holster is basically by doing the field research for Firewall. If you just complete stage 2, you will be rewarded the ammo dump blueprint. So, you know, I decided I needed a Badger Tough holster anyway. I may as well just craft me an ammo dump. That way I get that extra attribute. And then our other two pieces, this is a Point Man, the named Healer Guard chest piece. Brand set bonus gives us plus 5% total armor, rolled with max armor, armor regen, hazard protection, and a 10% disrupt resistant mod. Talent is perfect vanguard. Deploying a shield makes it invulnerable for 5 seconds and grants 50% of your armor as bonus armor to all allies for 20 seconds, and the cooldown is just 25 seconds. And sitting at 2.4 million armor, I mean, you're giving your teammates 1.2 million armor. And obviously in Countdown, most people are either running a skill build or an all red damage build. So that bonus armor definitely will come in handy for them. And then the backpack is the setup. Usana Getica, brand set bonus, plus 5% total armor. Rogue with max armor, hazard protection, armor regen, 10% disrupt resistance mod, and the talent is perfectly opportunistic. Enemies you hit take 15% more damage from all sources for 5 seconds, using marksman or shotgun weapons only. So yeah, just, you know, Vanguard's giving your team bonus armor. Then of course perfectly opportunistic is allowing your team to do even more damage to the enemies. And that's not the only way we're giving our team more damage, but we'll get into the other ways here in a minute. But the expertise roll on all of these pieces, you can see we have two pieces at 12% for the expertise roll. Then we have these three pieces at 14% and then 13% for the mask. So the skills that we are using is the shield. Obviously, this is what is proccing our perfect vanguard. And since it does take in consideration the blue cores, we are at tier 6 for our shield, plus 60% active regen, 250% shield health, 40% holster regen, and 2% buff strength. You do have 2% for the expertise roll, and the mods 4.9 shield health, 5% shield health, and 5% holster regen. And then our other skill is the Riot Foam. This is just another way that we can help our team take out the enemies by stopping the enemies in their tracks. And this is at expertise 12 for the ensnare health, and the mods plus 10% ensnare duration and plus 1 ammo. And then the guns we are using. Another way to stop the enemies in their tracks is with the Scorpio. Now, the expertise is at 16%, rolled with max shotgun damage, damage to armor, and critical hit damage. And the talent is Septic Shock. Shooting a target applies stacks of venom, which lasts for 10 seconds. Increasing stacks adds more severe debuffs to the target. 1 poison, 3 disorient, 6 shock, 7 target takes additional 20% damage from all sources. Stacks no longer increase. Duration of status effects is based on percentage of pellet hit on applying shot. So we're disorienting the enemy, putting them on shock. Again, just helping your team get their bullets on that enemy and taking them out as fast as possible. And we know how tanky those hunters are. So getting that 7th hit on the hunters and giving our team even more damage, 20% from all sources, is just beautiful. And again, this is still not the only way we're giving our team more damage. But before we go into that, we can take a look at the stats. Obviously, it's not a crit build, but you know, with the shotgun, 20% crit chance, 55 crit damage, 65% headshot damage, 12% armor damage. But what we want to see, you can see we are at 2,385,000 for the armor. So it's not a true 2.4 million armor, but if you do get your expertise levels on your gear pieces up a little more, you know, you only need 15 more thousand to get to that true 2.4 million armor. And then we can look at the hazard. We are sitting at 70% overall hazard protection. And then of course, with our disrupt resistance, we are at 100%. So it's especially important to have the 100% disrupt resistance, especially at the end going against the hunters, because this is when teams can struggle. I've seen teams wipe on heroic countdown, and if we're disrupted by the hunters, then that means we can't proc the Vanguard to help our team out, and we want to make sure and always be able to proc that perfect Vanguard. So that's why, whether it's my heal build or status effect build, whatever it is, always trying to be 100% immune from being disrupted when doing countdown. So we can take a look at the specialization and see some more benefits that we get. All right. Plus 20% burn duration, plus 30% health on kill. Your armor kit recovers 200% armor and 200% health over 10 seconds. And then the striker shield that we are using, I guess another thing that we didn't go over is, you can see in that second paragraph, in addition, the striker shield boosts the damage of the user and all allies behind them based on the number of enemies in front of the shield. I guess I can go ahead and show you that real fast. You can see that we do have, you know what, I don't have the mods on it. So you want to, if you want that extra damage, now you can go with the more shield health, because you know I just have the wrong mods on here, obviously. So you can go with the +1 damage per enemy in front of us, and we also have a +5 damage bonus per enemy in front, which takes it to 13%. So when we're shooting an enemy and anyone behind us shooting an enemy, gives them 13% more damage per enemy in front of us. So that could be quite a bit of damage. All right, and again, still not the only way we're giving our team damage. As you can see here, allies deal plus 10% damage to enemies that are within 10 meters of you. And this is a tank build. We're always going to be within 10 meters of our enemies. So just giving our team even more damage. I mean, the amount of damage that we're giving our team is actually pretty crazy when you think about what we give them from the Scorpio, from the perfectly opportunistic, to the what we give them from the shield if they're behind us when we have the shield out. and also this 10% damage to enemies that are within 10 meters of us. So yeah, definitely supporting the team. Plus 30% bonus armor during cover-to-cover moves, plus 50% pulse resistance, and on armor break, apply burn to enemies within 5 meters. And as always, just make sure and have whatever gun that you're using equipped on your specialization so you're getting that extra 15% damage. So yeah, that is the build, my friends. It's just another Countdown build that I like using. I'm usually not doing a lot of damage builds for Countdown because every time I go into Countdown, everybody likes to use the all red builds or a status effect build. So I have 3 specific builds for Countdown: status effect, healer build, and now this tank build. Because sometimes there's already a healer or maybe already a tank, so I just go to my status build and just putting everybody on fire, ensnaring everyone and all that, helping the team out that way. But if there is no survivability on the team, then I'll just throw on either my healer build or the tank build, depending, because even if we do have a healer, sometimes, and it all depends on the players that you're playing with. So sometimes I'll go through the first encounter to see how everyone is playing. Now, if we have a healer already, but guys are still kind of, too squishy, I'll throw on my tank build. So not only are they getting heals, but they're getting bonus armor and vice versa. If I see somebody already with the tank build and I still feel we need a little more survivability for the other, straight up damage builds, then I'll throw on my healer build. So that's just how I do Countdown. I know everyone has their different type of playstyles and different ways that they run builds in Countdown. But yeah, if this is definitely one for any of you tank guys out there, or just anyone out there who wants to give this a try. This is definitely a great build to give your team survivability and a lot of damage against the enemies. So I'll have a little bit of gameplay of me doing some Countdown just so you can see the build in action. And I hope you guys are doing good, staying safe out there, and as always, my YouTube family, take it easy.